the source of light and truth lies in our heart. This source flows when it is nourished by the divine radiation power. We would like to reflect on this light power and on the possibilities it can release in us. We hope that this light may enlighten our heads and hearts. Nature, goal and essence of the light is eternal genesis. A divine field of life surrounds and pervades the whole universe with its sublime vibration. A universal love power emanates from this divine field. It seeks what has been lost, the light nucleus in our heart. It intends to restore the broken link with the light. A universal truth lies deeply submerged in the human heart. This truth wants to be manifested within and through our being. Just as a grain of seed contains everything that is necessary for growth, blossoming, and fructification, in the same way, the nucleus of the human system contains all possibilities for causing a divine spiritual being to be born from its own being. The process that then takes place is described as a development from personality to soul human being, and subsequently from soul human being to spirit soul human being. The first change is called transmutation. The second, transfiguration. Just as a seed has to be planted in the right soil and needs sunlight for its development, in the same way, the spirit nucleus, which is of divine descent, must receive the right nourishment and light. When this nourishment and the divine light cannot reach this divine seed, it remains dormant and does not come into blossom. Yet, the continuously radiating divine light influences us physical human beings. It makes us aware of the emptiness in our heart. This causes an urge to have this void filled. We do so in all kinds of ways. We are continuously chasing after all kinds of lights, but we never find true fulfillment. Light impulses are of a diverse nature and vibration. The light impulses that are released from the field of the earth provide us the material energy needed to maintain life in matter. Thus, we can gain experiences and learn to know ourselves and the field of our nature. As long as we are seeking fulfillment in the world of opposites and put our trust in the powers of our personal nature, we will not understand our inner agitation. We can read in the Gospel of John, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not." The divine light field pervades the earthly field, and it now matters whether we notice something of this light and are able to react to it. A deep longing for the primordial source of the light is perhaps also living within us. We probably recognize this inner homesickness, this pre-remembrance, which works within us right through all life, and which makes us feel like a stranger in a crowd. Perhaps we know the feeling that something essential is lacking. We are seeking that which we are missing. We are focused on that which we desire. Heart and head are filled with it. Our actions and reactions testify to it. Any finding begins with longing. Longing is a magnetic power. All longing links us with the invisible threads to that on which we are focused. Through many experiences, and often through suffering, we become conscious that nothing in this world can satisfy our deepest longing. Ultimately, we are always standing empty-handed. This insight awakens the longing for liberation in our heart, a homesickness for the lost realm of the light. When this longing for the universal light and the living truth is so strong that it overrules all other desires, we are magnetically drawn to the source of the light itself. We are seeking the light. The light has been seeking us for ages. All the time, a beckoning call emanates from the light. When we begin to hear this call, it is going to work as a driving power in our heart. And then we recognize this power as longing for the light, as being prepared to surrender to the light, and the pure will to attune our life down to all details to this pure longing. Thus, a process of change takes place that is accomplished by the light itself. A fragment from a temple song expresses this as follows. A longing seeking soul can gnosis light encompass. In mighty holy longing, light into heart does flow. And see that fire, all of life does then baptize. And in the flower garden opens radiant, alive, bud of the rose.
Hermes says, focus your heart on the light and know it. Because we have woven many veils between ourselves and the light, our rational faculty is actually clouded. This results in ignorance. Hence, the gnosis comes to help us as inner knowledge. The gnosis is the compendium of the primordial wisdom, the combination of all knowledge that directly points to the original divine life. This gnosis, which is at the same time power, has always been passed on to humanity by the servants of the light. Those willing to hear and opening their heart and prepared to proceed to new action can assimilate this knowledge. The light nucleus, the rosebud in the heart, is able to receive the light of the gnosis. Like Sleeping Beauty from the fairy tale, this nucleus, this primordial spark of divine descent, is awakened from its sleep by the light. The source of true life lies hidden in this nucleus. That which lives in our heart must now demonstrate its power. Then light turns into light power. The light works as a sword that separates light and darkness. Those who work with this light power receive the power of discernment. On the basis of this inner knowledge, the head is able to achieve insight, and the path of return can be walked. Then this light is a lamp to the feet that illuminates the darkness. The Gnostic manuscript Pistis Sophia, stemming from the 2nd century A.D., describes how the main figure, Pistis Sophia, in her quest for knowledge, searches all realms within the earthly field of life. Then she discovers that true knowledge, the pistis, and true wisdom, the Sophia, cannot be found in that field of life. During this quest, Pistis Sophia has increasingly linked herself with the forces of this earthly nature. She mourns this situation and sings her songs of repentance. From the innermost depth of her being, from inner need, she turns to the light of lights. Pistis Sophia represents people who are longing for inner knowledge or gnosis, and who are seeking a solution for their lack of freedom. Some people are sensitive to the light, and through their natural power of assimilation, they become acquainted with the presence of the light. When they therefore feel unhappy in the light field of the world of duality and do not feel at home, they reach a state of new yearning through their awareness of this inner poverty and the misery of this rock-hard reality. This longing is a prayer, a cry of the soul for other light. It is a quest for the one door to the higher light field. Through this new directedness, we will experience the call, the helping hand, emanating from this higher light field. Yes, before we are even aware of this longing, the light has presented itself to us. This does not mean that we can already enter this light field. To this end, we must walk a path of farewell to the old nature, and a path of turning toward the new nature, a process of transmutation. This transmutation is the primary manifestation and realization of the sanctifying, healing spirit, the spirit of the new light field. Those who seek the light will find it. They must walk in and with the light so that they will change through this light. This Gnostic directedness, with all ensuing consequences and experiences, turns us into a true Pistis Sophia, in whom all egocentricity and all delusion and illusion are broken up. We conclude this contemplative meeting with a prayer preserved from the time of the Bogomils. Purify us, O God. Purify our inner and our outer being. Purify body, soul, and spirit, so that the seeds of light within us may grow and turn us into a torch. Let us become a flame that transforms everything within us and around us into light. May it be so. you.